Following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
This is Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette, the official shave of the Dallas Cowboys. Here's Nick Eatman.
It's going to be that kind of show. All right, it is Monday, December the 8th. This is Cowboys Storyline presented by Gillette. I'm Nick Eatman. Chris Beam's having fun in the back. Hopefully you get the same Chris when you call the 888.
They always get the same Chris when they call.
Do they?
They do.
Consistency. I love it.
It's about consistency.
888-855-2297. That number has been consistent for like 25 years. So that's been our number there to call. Talk to Chris. Don't be long-winded. Let's talk on the show. Let's have some fun. Let's talk some Cowboys football. Let's see how they get in the playoffs. If you find the formula, let me know. All right, let's just get that right after it. Danny, Henderson, Nevada. Danny, what's up?
Morning, Nick. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
All right. I'm pretty much over last week's game. I just want to talk about Pickens for a minute. Everyone's kind of on him for his route running and getting on him for one bad game possibly. But most of the year we've been praising him, and he's third best receiver in the league. So I want Pickens on the team and CD as well. So I don't find too much to criticize him for. Defensively, I'd like to see us maybe make adjustments after halftime. It seemed like we didn't. I thought we were putting pressure on Goff in the beginning of the game with 5 down linemen, and he was having to spike the ball, and I wish we would have continued that. And I just kind of think our defensive line is the best thing that we have on our team right now, so let's just live and die by it. And I would rather go 5 down linemen if we can more often and see what happens. And that's all I have for today.
Okay.
And have a good day.
All right, thanks. You say that you wish they would have made adjustments. I mean, it was 27-9, the Lions, before they got the ball back, because they only scored after that interception. And then it was 27-9, and then Cowboys cut it 30-27 in the fourth quarter. So, I feel like they've made some adjustments, so they at least kept them out from scoring. I know the Lions had a field goal block, so the Cowboys did at least hold them out there. But, I don't think they were moving a lot. Now, and then in the fourth quarter, they got back to the just Gibbs was unbelievable. Just his versatility was off the chart. I said it the other day. I'll say it again. I think it's the closest thing that I can remember seeing as Marshall Faulk being that kind of dynamic player, and that you can put out of the backfield and just line up at receiver, and he could just make plays. He just find the mismatch. And Cowboys' best corner there is Deron Bland, and we saw what happened to him. He can't stay on his feet. So just an absolute mismatch nightmare. I thought the Cowboys made some adjustments, obviously not enough there at the end, because at the end it's just, can your guys cover? And I think the Lions kind of kept it simple. As for the Pickens part, it's going to be tricky, because how much do you pay him? He's those issues that the Cowboys have with him, and dealing with his immaturity, and dealing with him being late to things, and dealing with him just mood swings, it sounds like. Dealing with those type of things probably won't be on the table for when Pickens and his agent get there to talk. That's probably not going to be considered until Cowboys have to bring it up. You have to talk about those things. You talk about the fines. You talk about all those things and figure out what the right number is. But you're right. He's an absolute dynamic player that they desperately need, and when he's on, he's worth it. And so that's kind of what's happened this year. I think we're forgetting how this thing goes with the wide receiver 1A, 1B. Because was it two weeks ago? Well, what's up with CD? What's wrong with him? Is he okay? And then the next couple games, the things shift on the coverage, and then CD has 2 good games, and then Pickens doesn't have his best game. Well, what's wrong with Pickens? Hopefully it's not going to be like that every week. Hopefully we understand that this is the way it works. And they're both not going to just have 100-yard games all the time. It's going to be kind of a back and forth, but they have to kind of both understand that. All right, Davion in Illinois is next.
What's up, Nick? What's going on, big dog?
Hey, how are you?
Man, doing good. Just, I guess, piggyback off that just quickly. I think, honestly, the debate between the two, I mean, we should kind of put that as a nation, put that as a rest. It's like they're going to have games where one's going to be up, the other one's going to be down. It's going to be back and forth, ebbs and flows. It really ain't no – I just like them both. So we got them both. Let's enjoy them both while they're here and just go from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know why it was such a debate about trying to trade this and do that. It's crazy. But honestly, what I was calling about today, I guess, a question for you. Over these last 4 games, what do you think what is the biggest thing we need to see throughout for the team? Me personally, it would be consistency. I need to see consistent defense, consistent offense. And hopefully we can make a play for this playoffs, backdoor or whatever. Hopefully the Eagles lose tonight. That'd be great. But either way, let's just go win the last 4 and see what happens.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. When you asked that question, thanks for the call, Davion. I assume when you're talking about what do you need to see, I mean, as far as like winning the games, I mean, obviously the defense is going to have to step up and make stops like we'd seen in the previous games. If you're asking about what do we need to see for like moving forward, questions that maybe need to be answered, one of the things that I think is still up for debate is just who are your offensive tackles moving forward. And if you ask them right now, on a press conference, Shotty's going to say, well, Terrence Steele's under contract, and Tyler Guyton is a young developing player, and who's a first-round pick, and those are our tackles. But I still think, behind closed doors, you still got to figure that out. Like who's it going to be, and what is Steele's number next year, and is he someone that you're going to keep? Are you going to draft a offensive tackle? What about your linebackers? Who are the guys there? Who are the guys that you really need to play and develop there? Because you've got a few, but none of them seem to be making a lot of plays right now. So there's questions. There's questions at safety as well. So there's questions about how to win these games, and there's questions that they need to keep answering moving forward. Let's go to Sebastian in Savannah. What's up, Sebastian?
Good morning, sir. How you doing?
Good. You?
I'm doing real good. Hey, man, listen, like I said, I had us losing that game and that being the last game that we lost. So with that, I dove right into my scouting of the other team.
Okay.
And here we go. Quick 20-second scouting report on the Vikings. They bring a lot of pressure, led by their veteran Harrison Smith. We all know and love that name. So the screen game, he's kind of all over that. But they're a little bit on the smaller side, so we could take advantage of them. Now, when it comes to getting back on the right track, we need the best version of Dak to come back out this week. Can't have any turnovers. So Brian Schottenheimer should be preaching ball security. I mean, for your running back, for your wide receivers, for your tight ends, ball security should be the message of the week. And as far as George Pickens goes, he's our spark plug. Like I said, CD's Batman, but he's not Robin. He's like a Nightwing. He can handle it on his own if he has to. But your spark plug does what for the car? It gets the engine going. It's not the engine, it's not the wheels, it's not the steering wheel, but it gets the whole thing going. So if we can get GP going, we should be just fine. You have a great day.
All right. I like it. Excuse me. Yeah, going to the Vikings, I'm sure we'll talk about them here in a little bit. I know obviously they're coming off their best game. They lost 4 in a row, and then here they are, and they beat Washington 31-0. So I'm sure Viking storyline over there is that they're probably talking about, all right, this is it. Now we're into December, championship month. Let's go. So they're trying to make a push as well. We can just talk about Pickens all day long, I guess, and I'll let you guys do that. I'm not going to continue to talk about that. I mean, it's nothing bad. It's just that I've kind of said what I've said, and he's hard to understand a little bit, and there's a lot of things behind closed doors. We don't really know all of it. I know this, when he's out there playing like he has most of the season, he's one of the best players in the NFL, and so with that, you're just trying to put him in the right situation and figure out how to keep him happy, and keep him going. All right, 888-855-2297. The phone lines are open here, so you guys, I don't know if you're, it's like a Cyber Monday type thing, or that you guys are shopping or whatever. We need the callers. Let's go. Let's get it in here. And if not, I'm gonna take my first break. I'll just do that. Let's take a break real quick on Cowboys Storyline. We'll be right back after this.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Crown Royal and the Dallas Cowboys are bringing back the Royal Rig for Season 2. See it in action at AT&T Stadium on Thanksgiving Day, where the Dallas Cowboys take on the Kansas City Chiefs, and around Dallas on November 26th and November 28th. Visit crownroyal.com to see where else the Royal Rig is stopping this NFL season. That's crownroyal.com. Please drink responsibly.
Altec Lansing has been perfecting sound since 1927, bringing you decades of audio excellence to elevate your Dallas Cowboys tailgate ritual. Equip your next pregame with the Sound Rover 180 with 6 hours of playtime, built-in microphone, multicolor light modes, and a rugged exterior that's built to last. Visit alteclansing.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off your Sound Rover 180. That's alteclansing.com/Cowboys15 for 15% off. Altec Lansing, official audio partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Back to Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette, the official shave of the Dallas Cowboys.
All right, back here on Cowboys Storyline. This segment is presented by Yeti. Officially licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is available at Stadium Pro Shops, concession, and on Yeti.com. All right, get some calls in here. Let's go back to the lines. We have Zach in Atlanta. Zach, what's up?
Nick in Frisco. How you doing, bud?
I'm good. You?
That's good, man. Yeah, I'm good. Obviously disappointing game against the Lions, but we knew they're 2-1 against the Eagles, Chiefs, and Lions.
Yeah.
We would have taken that all day, but it seems like, the Chiefs are not themselves this year, and the Eagles remain to be seen. So we may have won against the two worst teams of the three, but still got to win out, and we'll figure it out. But I think our linebacker play is still pretty abysmal, which leads me to my double agent for this week as we look to the Vikings. Can you talk about Eric Kendricks? Because is he still out there? And would we bring him in? I mean, I don't know. Anyway, any stories on him? He was great for us, and I'll hang up, man.
All right. Trying to think stories on Eric Kendricks. I remember when he showed up. I did the I did the interview with him, and right when he first got here, he signed his contract and went over to the next room, and we were there with the camera, and we did an interview with him and talked about Zimmer. I remember that, but I don't remember a whole lot of stories with him. He was just here for the 1 year, and I think he's in one of those situations where he knows he can play, but he's not just signing a deal just to be on a team and be on a roster and maybe have to play special teams and all that. I don't think he was really trying to do all that. I think if the situation was right, he would have joined a team, but it just didn't work out for him. So he seemed like he was okay with just not playing this year. Again, I don't know all that, but I know he played well enough last year to play on someone's team for the right price and the right situation. And it just didn't seem like that worked out. So, all right, let's go to our next caller. Stan, he's in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Stan, what's up?
Hey, what's up, Nick? How you doing, man?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Hey, this is my first time on the show, and let me tell you something. I'll make it quick. I'm a 60-year-old man, and I've been a diehard Cowboys fan my entire life. Believe it or not, I'm 50 miles away from Philadelphia Stadium, the Link. And I grew up in a diehard Philadelphia family, and I am the biggest Philadelphia hater of all their sports teams you'll ever believe. Yeah, I got in a lot of fights growing up. You better believe it, man.
Hey, I've got a good friend that is from Tamaqua, Pennsylvania. That's not far.
I know.
That's
not far at all.
Huge Eagles fan, huge Cowboy hater. We get along sometimes, but no, I know exactly where that is. All right, Stan. So what do you got for us?
Okay, I think a lot of people are missing things on this past game. As soon as they started settling for field goals and not getting touchdowns, not actually settling for them, they just couldn't convert on third downs, and they were kicking a lot of field goals. So like, this game's over against any team, let alone a high-powered offensive team like the Lions. You got to score touchdowns, and also our special teams, they struggled majorly. I mean, every time we would score, they would have a huge kickoff return, and they'd be almost in field goal range already. And I think those are two things that really hurt us, as well as all the other things that were talked about on the show.
Yeah, no, you're right. The kick coverage was huge. When you think about the last couple of weeks too, some of the coverage units have gone down there, made some plays, big hits, the forced fumble in the Philadelphia game, all that stuff. But it failed them. And you're right. I mean, the Lions got to open up the playbook and play downhill. That they were never really pressed because they were always starting around the 40, 45, 50-yard line.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, that was a huge play or plays in the game and just a turning point that I don't know. I mean, you kick it out of the end zone if you want to. I mean, you put it at the 35. That's not great, but it's obviously better than midfield. It's already in field goal range.
Exactly. That's what I say. What do you think about, like you said, about the kicking of the field goals? I mean, we just had to kick way too many field goals. You got to score. I know it's hard to score touchdowns, but you got to at least make that 50-50. I mean, against anybody, let alone the Lions. We knew the Lions were going to put up the points.
Yeah. I can't remember a time where I would have been like, why didn't they go for it here instead of the field goal? Maybe right before the half, but there was 4th and 4. I'm a little different on that because I just feel like kicking field goals. I feel like that Shoddy at times has gone for it when he didn't need to. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay with situations like that, with kicking the field goals and getting the points, because I still feel like, and I've said this before, they've scored 30 points 7 times now this year, and Aubrey's kicked a field goal in like 15 straight games. So field goals doesn't mean you're only going to score 10, 13, 17 points. You can still get in the 30s and 40s by kicking field goals at the right times. But you have to mix in some touchdowns, and they did a couple. They did 2, but you're right. They needed more. It just didn't work.
Yeah, and I'm just old school, and normally I'm good with the field goals. I like that too. I'm big for let's take the points, man. It's not, so many teams go for it now on 4th down. But I just thought that one situation where it was like you said, right before halftime there, I was thinking, man, maybe this is a time to go for it. But that's always all second guessing. But another thing, like I said, I'm old school, man. One thing I didn't like after in the press conference with Shoddy was like, and I guess it got to be politically correct, but I don't like that, is that he's like, I was proud of my team. These are professional athletes. This isn't high school. It isn't college. It isn't rah-rah. It's like, yo, man, how could you be proud of your team when you failed to come through again, man? I mean, this was a must-win game. We knew it. We won 2 big ones in a row against the Eagles and the Chiefs, but it's like, you got to be a little tough, man, too. I like the way I like his demeanor and the way, he's bringing the new culture to the team. I do like that, but I just hate when a coach says they're proud of their team when they lose in professional sports.
Stan, you have kids?
I have 4 of them, all boys.
Any of those boys ever do something wrong? Ever do anything wrong and make you upset? Got in trouble?
All the time.
You're still proud of them, though. You're mad at them. You're still proud of them. You still love them. You're still proud of them. But that moment right there, you want to shake them a little bit. But still, when you're proud of them, you might be mad at them behind closed doors. But then when the neighbors come out and they go, "What's wrong with your kid?" You're gonna be like, "Hey, it's my kid. I'm proud of my kid. You worry about yourself." And so that's maybe what he's doing to the media. He might feel a certain way behind closed doors, but I mean, in front of the media, he's like, "Hey." And that's what we are. Thanks for the call. Hey, Stan, love hearing from you. First time caller. Got to give it to you. Thank you.
All right, man. You have a good day.
There we go. No, and Boy, tell me you're from the Philadelphia area without telling me you're from Philadelphia. I mean, like, no, I get it. It's a whole different mindset. It's a different, culture, I guess. And Shoddy's Shoddy. I'm not gonna try to get him to change. I'm not gonna lie. There's been times where the Cowboys had like the worst loss ever. I mean, like a last second overtime loss, and then Jason Garrett stands up there and it's like, "How are we doing, guys?" I'm like, how are you doing? You just lost. Your team lost, and you're not in the playoffs. I mean, how are we doing? That's who he was. You're not going to change it. That's who Shoddy is. So it is what it is, and you can still have a feeling about them one way, because I know Shoddy can get after him, and that's from those things that I've heard. In the meetings and things like that, he's not afraid to pull some punches there, but he might have a different opinion and a different kind of persona in front of the cameras. All right, let's go to Sam in Maryland. Sam.
Hi, Nick. How are you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
First time caller. Thanks for having me on.
Back-to-back FTCs. Let's do it. All you had to say is the lines are open, and they're like, you know what? Let me try this and see.
Yeah, I was surprised to get through.
Glad you did.
You actually have touched on some, but this is such a big issue for me. I still want to touch on it, and it surrounds special teams. And I'm thinking about a movie, A Bronx Tale. There's a character, De Niro, says the worst thing in the world is wasted talent. And then Parcells used to always say hidden yardage. And with that, I've been irked this entire season. Me and my wife, we're season ticket holders, so we also get the chance to see it up close every time we come out. And that's Turpin. To me, he's extremely talented, but I'm so frustrated whenever he has the kickoffs. It seems like he jogs. He doesn't run as hard. And so it's frustrating watching other teams with what, to me, I would think is lesser talent than Turpin, seem to always start out in better field position, longer kick returns, and we always seem to start out 25-yard line or less. Mm-hmm. And I just wish that we would get more production from him. And I don't know what it is, but it's frustrating watching it game in and game out.
No, you're not wrong there. You're not wrong. He's playing for 100. That's what it is. He's playing for the kickoff return to the house, and he's jogging, and then trying to hit it. And when you hit it, if it's there, it could be a touchdown. You kind of draw them in, boom. But doesn't always happen. And you would like for them to just run it at full speed, get up there, get what you can. If you hit it, great. If not, get to the 30, 35, something like that. But there's another factor, too, is he's the smallest guy on the field. And if he's running at full speed and he gets hit by someone at full speed, even though they've not, they're now at the 40, still, if they're coming from full speed and they hit him at full speed, he's going to lose. So he's playing that factor as well. I mean, I get it, though. I get why you'd be frustrated. It seems weird to have him jog, and then he gets tackled at the 20.
Yeah, and I get that. My wife also makes that same point. He's a small guy. But at the same time, I'm just thinking, that's kind of the assignment.
Yeah.
I mean, he's getting paid big money.
You're right.
And so I'm like, we're constantly losing out on that. In terms of the hidden yardage, I mean, that last game with Detroit, I mean, I don't know what the number is, but we came on the minus side of that tremendously.
Big time. I mean, their guy wasn't jogging at the line of scrimmage. Special teams has not been that good. It really hasn't. I mean, like, I think sometimes making field goals with Aubrey and every once in a while Tarpon will have a big return and Anger kind of does his thing. But I don't think, as far as the coverage units, blocking, scheming, things like that, special teams has not been good this year.
No, not at all. That's it. I just wanted to mention that point. I mean, there's a lot of things we could talk about, but if to close the season out, if that could be a little bit better to give us more hope for next season, that would be good as well.
Yeah, without a doubt. Oh man, I'm looking. Thanks for the call, Sam. I'm looking at the NFC playoff picture, and yeah, I mean when you see 3 wild card teams with 9 and 10 wins at the wild card, it doesn't look good. With 4 games to go, your best shot is the Eagles are going to have to lose here. But yeah, 6-1 for the Cowboys. When you just looking at the Bears at 9-4 in the 7th spot, It's not good. But it is what it is for this season, and I think you can build on some things. You can definitely stack some wins together. You're gonna have 2 draft picks, and they're both gonna be kind of in the second half of the draft, but that's okay because if you can package those and move up if you want to, or you can move down, and there's a lot of flexibility there. But still, just 4 games to go. Just I say just keep playing, keep winning, and keep trying to figure out how to build this thing. And that's kind of what you do. All right, JR in Avondale, Arizona. He's next.
Morning, Nick. How you doing?
Good. You?
I'm great. I'm not a first-time caller.
No, you're not.
I'll break the trend. I kind of want to talk about special teams as well.
Okay.
Kind of everybody stole my thunder on that, but they have to block on the kickoff. It's not this uncontrolled chaos where everyone just kind of like it's a big sword fight in Braveheart where everyone's just going everywhere. There's a plan. If you watch last year's special teams kickoffs versus this year, there's nowhere for Turpin to run. I've had this argument with other friends of mine. There's nowhere for him to go. He's jogging up there because there's no plan for him to get through. I don't think they're doing a good job blocking it. And he never returns a punt because we can't stop their gunners from running down the field. I can't remember last time he had a punt return. And we don't hold those guys up very well. And I don't know if that's by plan or if it's by just chance. But we got to do a better job holding up their gunners, and we need to block better on the kickoff returns and give Turpin a chance. I think he's still got it.
Yeah.
Last thing I got, as far as the schedule goes and these games, these guys have played, they've been on this emotional high, and I know I had personal tragedy when my son passed away when he was 5. And me and my wife, we ran on emotional energy for like 3 weeks, and then at the end of that, we just kind of were done, collapsed. And I think that's kind of what's happening to the Cowboys with Marshawn and these huge games and the weird schedule, and they just kind of look like they didn't have it the other night. They didn't have the energy. They weren't as physical. And I think it's a bad deal for the NFL to do what they did to the Cowboys schedule-wise. Like, I know the Lions had the same schedule, but they also had the Giants in there for one of those games.
Yeah.
So I think Cowboys are emotional letdown. I look forward to seeing what happens in this game coming up after what the Vikings did to the Commanders. We'll see. But that's all I got. Great show.
All right.
Go Cowboys.
Thanks, JR. Yeah, I mean, the fact of the matter is the Cowboys played 4 games in 17 days. I mean, that's just challenging. It's just a challenging thing to do. It was a Monday night game, and then a short week to play Philly, shorter week to play Kansas City, and then just a 7 days rest. I mean, I don't know. That just doesn't seem like a good idea, And I never understood that. I've never understood why these teams that have Thursday games on Thanksgiving, why they have to play on Thursday a week later. I mean, like you already had to compromise yourself for 4 days, at least. I mean, think about it. It's like you have to wake up at 4 a.m. When usually you wake up at 7, let's say, but this day you woke up at 4 a.m. Well, the next day, maybe you can sleep in a little bit more. You know what I mean? Instead of waking up at 7 again, maybe you can sleep until 8 or 9 if you can, if it allows. I mean, maybe that's not the best analogy, but I'm just saying you already compromised yourself for 4 days. Why can't the next week? Why can't you kind of get that break back instead of just going back to 7 days? I mean, that's what you're used to. Well, yeah, but I just come off of 4 days. Anyways, it is what it is. You're not going to fight that with the league. It's about the money and Cowboys, Cowboys set records with what they did with the Cowboys and Chiefs. I mean, a couple of teams that don't have winning records right now, right? Neither one of these teams has a winning record, and yet they had the highest rated regular season football game watched in the history of television. So it's the brands, and it's obviously Thanksgiving, but still it's the brand, and they're going to continue to do that. All right, let's go to Dylan, Northport, Florida.
Hey, Nick. How's it going?
Good. You?
Good. Yeah, I agree. The league did the Cowboys no favors with that. At least if you're going to make us play, not us, I don't mind the team, but make the team play that many games in such a short period, at least give us like an easy, or what you anticipate to be an easy team. to have to play those three teams like that is just insane. Absolute insanity. But, the Panthers do something on special teams on the kickoff that's interesting, and it's a little bit of a risk because you can't control the ball as much, but they do this like weird wobbly kick type thing. I know Dallas did it a little bit last year, but for whatever reason, we're not doing it this year, but it just kind of makes the return man have to stop and like focus on catching the ball. And sometimes it bounces off of him and all that. So I like to see Dallas do some more of that. And then defensively, I don't mean to say this to be mean or anything, but when Kenneth Murray is on the field, oftentimes it's like you're playing man down. It's like you're playing with 10 guys because he's just taking himself out of the play, not even taking a blocker up. He's just willingly moving out. And so I don't know if Logan Wilson is that bad that he can't get on the field, or this is a coach thing where the coach brought Murray in, so he just prefers Murray, that being Eberflus or what, but I'd love to see Wilson at least get some more reps out in live action on the field and to see what we got there, because that'll obviously have to be a decision next season to make as well there at that position.
There's no doubt. I hear his name the most in the press box. People around me, they're like, "What is Kenneth Murray doing?" I hear that more than anything. And there's some surprising plays. That was one guy that I thought was going to be a lot better this year. And it didn't work out. And it's funny. Like Jerry's getting praised for some of these trades, especially the one to get Pickens. Some of them work out, and then there's others. They're like, wow, we got a 5th-round pick for Murray, or we got a 6th-round pick for Elam. He didn't even stay on their team all year. So, yeah, I mean, there's some good trades. There's some not so good trades.
Yeah, and I mean, you gave up a 7th for Wilson, so there's another trade that maybe is good, but we just don't know.
Yeah.
And
Milton
at a certain point, you just gotta cut ties there, and not cut the guy, but I mean, you gotta figure out something else because it's absolutely brutal, and it's dragging the team down, Nick. I mean, the 2nd or 3rd play of the game, he's on the sideline, willingly on a swing pass or a screen to Gibbs, and he's just not even trying to blow up the player or route the running back inside. He's just, okay, I'll let you block me over into my bench. It's frustrating to watch.
Yep, but he's got that towel. He certainly has that.
He looks the part. I'll say that, man. He looks like he could be good.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, he's gonna he'll probably go to another team next year. I'm not sure what his contract looks like, but he's leading the team in tackles. Now, it's the worst defense. One of the worst defense in the league. I don't know. Have they gotten off of that? Are they still the worst defense in the league? I'm sure there are statistics that show that. Either way, they're down there, and so somebody's going to lead the team in tackles. But it hasn't been what you thought it would be this year, or at least what I thought. I thought he would be a little bit better player, lot better player. It just didn't work out. All right, thanks.
All right, thanks, man. See ya.
Let's go to Michael in Utah as our next caller. Michael.
What's going on, Nick?
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How about yourself?
Great.
I just, I feel like Eberflus is play calling for the whole game. I mean, I just don't get why we're 10, 15 yards off the ball when, especially Amon St. Brown's coming off an injury. Like, why not jam him that first 5 yards? Like, let him fill us. Like, I don't know if that's just because our backs aren't good enough to stay with them off the point of line. Like, I don't get that concept of playing the zone coverage the whole time. That kind of made me frustrated. I think we had a chance to win that game, and I think we did make adjustments. We just needed to make a few more. Do you think Eberflus is going to be our coordinator next year, or do you think they're going to make changes? Because personally, I would have went with I don't know. Even I think of his name, Al Harris, with the safeties last year. Like, I think he would have been a better defensive coordinator than Eberflus.
Yeah. With Al, I think Al was looking to go elsewhere when he didn't get the coordinator position, and so. But I think it was also kind of a mutual thing. I think there were some things that the organization didn't really love, that how he was handling certain things as far as being a coach. Really good coach, though. Really, really good position coach. Look at some of the players having their best seasons when he was there. And I mean, obviously Diggs and Bland. I mean, he's in Chicago now, and Nashawn Wright's having he's having a good statistical year. He's still a guy that's going to give up plays, but he's making them, so that's always good. To answer your question, I don't know. You still there, Michael? You have another question?
Yeah, just one more question. Do you think the Eagles have a chance to? I mean, I think they can lose to the Chargers tonight, and then if they lose to the Bills, and we went out, we would technically win the division by our tie game. Is that right?
They have to lose another one. So
they have to lose 3.
They have to lose 3, and of those other games that you did not mention, is a home game against the Raiders, I believe, and 2 games against Washington that didn't score a point yesterday against the Vikings. So I don't know. I mean, we'll see. Washington maybe could win one of those, but it's gonna be uphill. Let's see what happens tonight. Let's see how Philly plays against the Chargers tonight.
All right, thanks, Nick.
All right, have a good one. All right, let's go to break real quick on Cowboys Storyline. I'll be right back after this.
All right, Cowboys fans, this one's for you. Gillette's Best Shave has a new look this season, and they've got one that sticked out in Cowboys colors just for us. We're going to want to run, not walk to this one, y'all. The new Gillette Labs official Dallas Cowboys licensed razor isn't just Gillette's best shave. With 50% longer lasting blades than Fusion, it's the best a Cowboys fan can get. Get it while you can at Gillette.com/NFL. Gillette's Best Shave is also available as heated.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
Back to Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette, the official shave of the Dallas Cowboys.
All right, welcome back to Cowboys Storyline, presented by Gillette. See, I'm looking at the Gillette's Best Shave. It's now available. Cowboy colors with 50% longer lasting blades than Fusion. The new Gillette Labs official Dallas Cowboys license razor is available at Gillette.com/NFL. All right, we got a chance for a couple more calls here. Sam in Philly. Sam, what's up?
Hey, Nick, how's it going, man? I don't ever get to talk to you too much because I work night shift, but I try to catch your show as much as I can.
Hey, man, we'll give you the here we go just for that. It's been a while. That's good. The night shift, huh?
Yeah, but I wanted to talk to you about the state of the team. I think that Jerry and Steven are still trying to figure out and hopefully are figuring out how to put together a winner. I think it's, like we always say from back in the day, it's a copycat league, and you just look at who won and what they have and try to model your team around that. Now, Philly has 2 big guys in the middle, solid defense, our linebackers, solid corners. I think we have all that. I think we're missing a pass rusher, but I never agreed with the draft our own, pay our own, the Stephen Jones theory. I never really bought into that. I think it's dumb. I think they misevaluate their talent. I think that they should just go after, like they did this year, just go after proven players, plug them in, figure out the money the best you can. I think they overpay their players. I mean, I can have a beer with you and sit down and talk for an hour about what they do right, what they do wrong. And it's just frustrating. Hopefully they get it together sooner or later. But the last thing I'll say, I wouldn't count it out, that much because I'm up here in Philly and it's bedlam up here. Nobody's even interested in the Eagles anymore. It's very, not going to say very likely, but it can happen. They can lose the rest of their games. They've done it before. And if you told me at 3-5-1 that the Cowboys were going to go 8-0. There's just no way. But if you said 7-1, I think that's the best you can ask for. And I'll just hang up and listen.
All right.
Thanks, Nick. I think you're the best, dude.
Oh, well, thank you, Sam. I appreciate that, and good luck. Being a Cowboy fan in Philly, I can't imagine. Really, in any place, that is passionate about football. And I know you're saying right now they don't care. I mean, they'll figure it out. But one thing that you said that I disagree with a little bit as far as I'm not saying they should avoid free agency. I wish they would be a little bit more active there in free agency. But not paying your own players and you feel like you overpay their players. Well, no players get overpaid more than free agency. That's where they get paid the most. And the Cowboys still have that theory of the average players get good money in free agency. If just average players, you get paid good money, and good players get great money in free agency, and great players usually don't ever see free agency. So that's kind of what they think about there. And if something makes sense that they feel like they can make it work in free agency, then they'll do that. And we've seen that. We've seen them trade for guys. But I mean, the best way is to draft, develop, and pay their guys. But I'm not gonna lie. I mean, they haven't. Some of these guys haven't hit to the level of their contract, and they really hasn't happened in a while. I mean, CD, I think you can say is doing that. Dak, I mean, that's always going to be a tough one at $60 million a year. He's going to have to go to the playoffs and every year and be right up there in the MVP talk. That's what it is, And so I'm not saying he's underperforming. I'm just saying, I mean, it's almost impossible for him to do that. But he's had a great season. Yeah, we could talk all about philosophy and free agency and all that. This probably isn't the time for it. Let's go to William in Beaver, West Virginia. William, what's up?
Nick, how you doing, sir? Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
It was great. Thank you, man.
I did too. I really enjoyed it. My comment, I mean, a lot of people touched on what I was going to talk about, like the special teams and stuff. I just can't believe how they've fallen off the cliff from last year.
Yeah.
My biggest concern, I mean, and I know we're all pulling for Woody to get in the Hall of Fame, but did you see where I think L.C. Greenwood made the cut to get in and Harvey Martin did not again? There was the only two guys from the All-70s decade team to not be in the Hall of Fame. I don't know what's going to take to get Harvey either in the Ring of Honor, or in the Hall of Fame. I wanted to see if you had a comment on that. And secondly, is there any way you could talk to somebody and see if we can somehow ever get the Bad Luck Blues back from the 70s? I love those uniforms. I've harped on it for years. I just wish we could get them back.
You mean like the blue, like
the navy blue ones, like Staubach and Harvey and all them used to wear in the late 70s. Like the one they lost to the Eagles in the 80s in the state title game, which they treated as their Super Bowl.
Right. No, but to me, those are blue. I mean, they look like the Lions blue almost.
But they were sweet.
No, yeah, I'm with you. But yeah, we went to way more of a navy look. Yeah, they didn't have a lot of success in those. I think it was like 81 or 82 81 I think is when they went to a little bit more of the navy look. But yeah, before that it was very, very blue. I'd like to see.
But they do have in the pro shop, though. I will say they do have in the pro shop.
That's true. That's true. A lot of things they have in the pro shop I'd like to see on the field. All right, thanks. Thanks for the call. Well, yeah, I mean, you hit on special teams. Hasn't been special really this year. You say that like they blocked what? They blocked 2 punts and field goals, and they haven't had a kick return, I don't think, for a touchdown this year or a punt. So that's been the big key. But I mean, they've had some moments, but not as many as we've seen in the past. Harvey Martin, I can't explain that one really. I think obviously he's not in the Ring of Honor. I don't really know why that is. He's right there at the cut. I think they feel like that doomsday defense. There were a lot of really good players there, and Randy White got in, but I think that's about it, though, right? From the 70s, on like true 70s, I think Leroy Jordan and Chuck Howley, a little bit more 60s, 70s, but those late 70 teams, those ones that went to the Super Bowl 2 years in a row, Too Tall Jones is not in, and I say that, and let me also rephrase, Cliff Harris was a big member of that, and he's in the Ring of Honor, but like Charlie Waters isn't. So I think that they kind of drew a line there, and then there's a lot of people that feel like some of those defenders like Harvey Martin, Too Tall Jones, Charlie Waters. I know some that will really say way back kind of 60s, 70s, Cornell Green could be included in there, and but that if everyone got in, and believe me, every single game I walk on the field with Derek Eagleton, we walk on the field and we look up and see everybody's Ring of Honor when we're on the road. And I mean, I know football and he knows football, and we know the history of football. There's a lot of names up there that we've never heard of before, and you're like, wow, they just let everybody in, And so you don't want that. You don't want that because you want it to mean something. So that's part of it. All right, let's go one more caller here before we end it. This is another first-time caller, Tom in Florida.
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
What's up?
Listen, man, all this talk about free agents and drafts and this, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't?
It's been 30 years of futility, and there's only been one constant.
Rowdy.
The pretend GM. Okay? And what bothers me is, listen, they're worth, the most expensive. He made the Jones family rich. But what he's done to the fans at the expense of the fans, we used to be considered the creme de la creme as a football team. Now, we were talked about in the same notion as the Steelers organization and the Niners. Now we're talked about as with like the Jets and the Browns. And there's only one guy to blame, the pretend GM. And listen, I'm going to say something, and you don't have to take my word, but I'm in Florida now, but I lived in Valley Ranch for 9 years. Used to go to Bruno's Italian restaurant and the Chinese restaurant there and and I was in the corporate world. I was living pretty large. I was in a lot of good situations, ran into cowboy guys. I'm going to say something, and you don't have to take my word for it, but when you see Troy or if you run into Michael or Emmett, you ask them, was it Jerry or was it Jimmy? And I know the answer. You can argue it all day long. Until he gives up football control, we will never win anything. And here's the only question that should ever be asked of Jerry when he puts his face in front of a microphone. Jerry, except for you and your son, everybody knows it was Jimmy, not you. You've ran the football operations of this team for 30 years, and you've turned it into a joke. And that's the only question he should be asked every time he shows his face. But the press won't do it. I don't blame you. You're on his payroll. But I watch the damn, press conferences and stuff after the games, and it's like they're all so afraid they won't get invited to the tractor pulls and the concerts. They're terrible. They're terrible. He's terrible.
All right, Tom. I don't know. Like, why would we ask that question? Like, why does it matter? Like what?
Because there's no pressure on him.
The answer is both.
There's no pressure on him. You know what? If you do it anywhere, for any other reason, for the fans, because I guarantee you, a lot of Cowboy fans feel the way I do.
Yeah, they probably, they do.
Why, you don't agree? You think you name me another person in sports that's control of their team for 30 years with his record that still has a job. I mean, I know he owns the team, so you can't do anything about that.
Yeah.
But at least call him out for what he is. He's a fraud as a GM.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Thanks for the call. I hate that that's the last one. But yeah, hey, that's your opinion. That's fine. A lot of people have feel that way. I know this. Jerry has a lot of voices in there. There's a lot of people. He's the GM. There's no doubt about it. He's got a lot of help. They make decisions as one. It's funny. Will McClay gets a lot of praise for a lot of that. So it does seem like that way. If it's a bad move, it's Jerry. If it's a good move, then Will or whoever else coaches. They make these moves together, just like Jerry and Jimmy did. Jerry and Jimmy made moves together. They both say that. They haven't really won without each other either. So you can say all you want to about Jimmy. That's great, and he built a lot of that. There's no doubt about it. He couldn't win anywhere else, and the Cowboys haven't had that success without him too. That's just kind of the way it is. But that losing does that. Losing to the Lions does that. Haven't heard from Tom before. Probably won't hear again from him. But you can have that opinion. There's no doubt about it. That's what this show's for. So we appreciate that. But not everybody has to share that. But I understand the frustration. There's no doubt about it. But it's the Cowboys. They're certainly not those other teams you mentioned, I don't see them playing on Thursday nights, Thursday, 4 games in 17 days. No, I don't think anyone's viewing them that way. I don't know who you're talking to, but then not the people that are making decisions. All right. Let's end this thing. Chris Beam, great stuff. Thanks for a lot of these first-time callers. Really good stuff there. We'll do it again tomorrow. Here we go. All right. For Chris Beam, I'm Nick Eben. We'll see you tomorrow on Cowboys Storyline.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!